Hello, we're continuing video. In today's video we're gonna take a look at the new Halloween Little Cup, and we're gonna try to find out if it's possible to win battles without having Meryl or the Shackle. What you're gonna see as well, there's going to be some kind of different teams kind of floating around here that I might be using throughout the video. I think I changed my team like twice in between. Don't know if all the battles are in here today for it. But yeah, I tried to basically test out some of the Pokemon here that are eligible, that are not the Super XL, Super Overpowered Meryl and Shackle. If you have not seen my top team video towards this cup, check it out. You're definitely gonna see why this is such an issue, generally speaking, that Shackle as well as Meryl is going to be so dominant in this matter. And so yeah, we're gonna take a look here if we can basically win some battles with it. We have a secret core breaker, or like secret meta breaker here at least, in the Pawniard, because on PvPoke it says you would want to run the move Exeter, but with Iron Head you're supposed to be able to destroy Shackle. That's great, isn't it? That's really good. But you see already what is the actual issue here in this cup and why I am not going to upload most likely another video towards this cup. We have a water type Pokemon doing super effective damage against the opponent with Water Gun, Stab, with Awkward Heal, Stab against the Shackle, and we are not even able to really even go even with it. Like, it's not even that we are going to be able to completely knock them out or anything like this. We lose clearly the matchup. He was not able to tap on the move before on the grass type move, which would have been really nice for us. We still might be able to win the battle though. We have to see if we're going to be able to get to another Night Stash here. We're going to be able to do it on the CMP tie. And this is actually going to be the first battle here that we're going to be able to win already. We're going to have the core of Shackle as well as Meryl against us, and we're able to win with the Pawniard, being able to completely destroy this kind of core here. And this is gonna of course continue here right now in this video, right? Not really. So what I have to say is, I got quite unlucky. Like, the amount of times I encountered Skorupi or any kind of poison type Pokemon in the lead since I swapped out my Cottony. I had before Purloin in the lead. No, actually I had Pawniard in the lead, then I had Purloin in the lead, and then I have Cottony in the lead. And basically, since I have my Cottony in the lead, I only encounter like poison type Pokemon in the lead, which was not really ideal. But here, look at this, the opponent stops in their rock type Pokemon against my water type, where we do super effective damage, and the opponent is just gonna try to go for whatever they have here, which is not gonna do really any super effective damage, right? But still, we're going to lose this matchup. No matter what we really want to do here, we're gonna lose this matchup, which is just ridiculous. Like, I still cannot really believe that this is the case. We have a super effective move against Shackle, and Shackle is still going to be able to always win this matchup, which is just ridiculous. Here we have to try to catch a move here, which did not work out. Now we have this Skorupi against our Cottony, getting completely RPS'd hardwalled from the opponent, and there's literally just nothing that I can do here. What I can say is that Shackle is for sure the bigger problem compared to Meryl. Meryl is strong, don't get me wrong, Meryl is very strong, but it's a way more manageable than Shackle is. Shackle just literally has two Pokemon I think that can beat it other than Meryl, which is of course also XL. And this is Clodsire, and this is my Pawniard here. Clodsire, I didn't have one that I wanted to build, especially I didn't really want to waste that much Stardust. I built the Sculpt that you see on my team, by the way, but I can use it as a Dragalge for the Ultra League. That's my best Dragalge for the Ultra League, and so it's not too bad, but yeah, I just didn't want to invest more Stardust into this cup either. And in hindsight, I'm definitely very happy about it. Yes, of course, Clodsire is going to be basically the only other Pokemon that you can use in order to have a little bit of a better time. But then again, what are you going to do against Bubble Meryl? Here we're going to see the the Tackle version of Meryl, which also has some play. But Bubble Meryl, in my opinion, is actually even a little bit better than Tackle Meryl from what I've seen so far. But yeah, Bubble Meryl is going to be one that can also deal a lot of damage against the Clodsire, and all of a sudden your Core Breaker doesn't exist either again. And so, what I would recommend you for people who want to run in this cup, either you run a cheap team and just hope for the best and try to not really care too much about Elo, or you invest 1 million Stardust to build Shackle and Meryl. If you only want to build like one of them, Shackle is the one you need. Shackle is overpowered. Meryl is very good. Like, Meryl is clearly number 2, like literally clearly very strong Pokemon, just not comparable to Shackle. Shackle is just in a completely different league. But if you want to like try to really get a lot of wins and you don't have those two Pokemon, this cup is just not for you. Like, this cup is literally just not for you. Here we see, for example, Purloin here as well. this cup is not something for you if you don't have the XL Pokemon that are required. That's something I can definitely say from my own experience. And for what I also can say here as well, or maybe not as many people have like those heavy XL Pokemon. Out of the 12 battles I did total with this one, I think I had 3 battles where they didn't have Marill and Shackle. The rest basically all had Marill and Shackle. Like, I've barely faced anyone, I think, from the other ones that only had one of them. Basically, all of the other ones had both of them. And, like, having basically, like, a 9 out of 12 every, 3 out of 4 teams, basically, that have the super overpowered XL Pokemon on them at, like, 2600 ELO range. I dropped a little bit further with this team here, of course. It's just ridiculous. And so, yeah, I would not recommend you to run this cup if you want to, A, climb, or B, if you want to go ahead and try to do something without the Pokemon that are required. Like, you need Marill, basically. You need Marill, you need the Shackle in order to have any chance in this cup. And otherwise, I just would recommend you to go for the Master League. If you even have Pokemon like Mamoswine, like Rhyperior, like Gyarados, like Dragonite, Togekiss, Primarina build for the Master League, it is way smarter to build those Pokemon, generally speaking, because they have also Master League Premier Cup coming up. But like, those Pokemon usually had like a community day already. You should hopefully have the XL candy. It is 20 times more worth it to play currently Master League compared to whatever this mess is. This cup, I think, would have been actually really cool if they just not allowed Marill and Shackle. I think it would have been an interesting cup for sure, but Marill and Shackle just completely ruining it. And yeah, that's something I can definitely say from my own experience. I would rather recommend you to go ahead and take a look at the Master League. And also for the Master League, I just made a video on this channel as well about a team that does not require any legendary Pokemon, that went really well for me, that climbed like really nice for me. So definitely check out the video that is going to be linked in the end card as well for it, because I don't think that you should play this cup unless you have the Pokemon that are needed for it. And yes, I do think that there were some Pokemon, of course, as well. By the way, if you don't wonder why I don't really commentate too much on the gameplay itself, where I can say like, oh wow, we're going to be able to catch a not super effective hit from the Skorupi onto our Scrub. That's great. But basically, nearly all the battles are the same. Like, nearly all the battles are going to be Shackle, Marill, and that's basically it. Shackle going to be able to completely counter my Pokemon, and so like, I don't really see the point of really commentating everything towards this battles here, because they're all kind of the same. Everything is kind of the same with this cup, but at least I guess it's something that's predictable for yourself. You're always going to be able to encounter kind of the same teams all over, and I think that Bubble makes more sense on Marill as well, because you're basically going to encounter, especially if you get a little bit higher, every single battle the Shackle against you, and Marill is the only real answer other than Clodsire against this Pokemon. I think it's the hardest answer to it, actually. And so you kind of need to have Bubble compared to Tackle to have a better time there. But then again, actually the one weakness of Shackle, which I kind of want to research now a little bit, is that Shackle doesn't have really a lot of HP. Like, it's great defense, like the best defense in games, I think. But it does not have a great HP. So maybe this is actually something where Marill with Tackle might be even a little bit better. That's going to be something I'm going to just research real quick, because it doesn't really take me any time at all. If Marill with the super effective 3-turn move is better than, or like worse than the resisted 1-turn move. But for example, Marill has nearly double the amount of HP. Bubble wins in every scenario for you, which is kind of cool. Like, Marill gonna always win against the Shackle, so that Pokemon might be even more worth it to build, to be fair, just to be a little bit anti-meta. But with Tackle, you're also going to win all of them. That's why I thought, kind of, because you have only 84 HP on Shackle. So I guess maybe Tackle is even the better move for it. Again, like, the difference is not really there. Like, you're going to be able to usually have a great time no matter what fast move you're going to go for, as just one-turn fast moves are very overpowered, by the way, in this meta. This is also the main reason why you're going to have 2 of them here in the Water Gun variant there, and also the Pawniard with the Hery Cutter, because one-turn fast moves are really, really good in this meta. You have also other Pokemon like Inkay having access to Psywave, which is going to be an interesting Pokemon, as you're also going to have access to the move Night Slash. So Inkay would be a good Pokemon to run, but again, like, there is not really anything that can stand up against Shackle. There's a lot of Pokemon that can, in theory at least, stand up against the Marill. Like, there are, for example, Tentacruel and Tentacool, and there are going to be some other Poison-type Pokemon. Even Skorupi most likely has some decent play against them. By the way, the reason why people are running Skorupi a lot of times here is because you have coverage of both Pokemon. But then again, I feel like even maybe the evolution of it might be a little bit more interesting for it, because then you don't have the Rock-type weakness that you have on Skorupi being a Bug-type Pokemon. But yeah, you have Awkward here, as well as Cross Poison, allowing you to hit both of them. Moving on to the next opponent, let's take a look here maybe at some gameplay. We're going to see here, I think, a team that maybe does not have those Pokemon. We're going to have Cottonee against Cottonee in the lead. That's going to be kind of okay for us. We are going to be able to go ahead and go for the Seed Bomb here, trying to get some damage, but they swap out into the Victory Bell. And this is the thing as well, basically, out of the teams that I encountered, 9 of them had Shuckle and Meryl basically the entire time. 1 of them was just a normal team, and 2 of them were then a very toxic variant of like something kind of similar to Grass or whatever, which you're gonna see here as well with like Cottonee, Victory Bell. And what you're gonna see in the back is going to be an Oddish, spoiler alert, having a triple Grass type team there, which actually is very viable in this meta, I have to say, because you have Meryl, which you're going to be able to completely destroy with this team here, but also you're not going to have any fire type Pokemon in the meta where Meryl and Shuckle are the best Pokemon. And so actually I do think that this team has some potential. Here we sadly lose with 1 HP in a Dream. Moving on, we're going to have Shuckle against us. It's going to be a Purrloin in the lead here this time around. Again, I said before, like there is a little bit of change in the team. I think the team that you see on the right side is the best one of them all. But I did not really want to do like our more sets in this cup, generally speaking, because I feel like there is just no point. Like there's no point of doing more sets in this cup. This cup is just a little bit too annoying for me, in my opinion. But again, like if you have a Shuckle, this is the cup for you. Shuckle is overpowered in this meta. It is literally god. If you have Shadow Shuckle, maybe even send me some gameplay. I would maybe even take a look at the cup then again. But anything else, I'm just not going to bother with. I'm not going to bother with anything else here for this meta. And here's also one thing. Actually, Meryl against a Scrub. Yes, we're going to have access to the fast move of Water Gun, which is resisted and doesn't really do a lot of damage. But even if we're going to connect the Sludge Bomb, I'm actually going to take a look at it real quick here as well on the side, because the opponent decides to use a shield here. But a Sludge Bomb from the Scrub in this meta is going to be able to do 44.8%. This is a stab, poison type move, and it does 44.8%. And Meryl is not even as bulky as, for example, the Shuckle. Shuckle is ridiculously bulky, like literally double the amount of bulk that most of the other Pokemon have here right now. But yeah, like the other Pokemon is not even like that close to it. Here we're going to see at least Pawniard trying to its best. Here we're going to see the Night Slash coming through. We're going to be able to get them low. We actually never got the Night Slash boost at all with this team. Like never a single Night Slash boost, even though we have of course one that kind of spams it really, really fast. We never got a single Night Slash boost as well. So I feel like while I only went 2 and 10 with this team, I do think I was a little bit unlucky. And I think you might be able to get a little bit better results than I get, also with the team that you see on the right side. But then again, I don't think you're going to be able to go consistently positive without having Shuckle or like the Meryl. Honestly, don't think there's really a team that can consistently go positive in this meta if you don't have those super overpowered Pokemon. But yeah, anyway, we want to see here the Squelp against Phantom. Phantom having access to Stab Astonish is kind of cool. Yeah, like again, there was also not really a lot of Pokemon that can really deal with the current Pokemon that are really good. Like I thought of even going for Golett here. Golett is also very interesting, having access to the buffed Mud Slap, of course, also buffed Shadow Punch and buffed Nightshade. Seems very, very cool, right? Especially as you're going to be able to resist the fast move of the opponent Shuckle. Turns out you are going to lose every single scenario basically, other than if the opponent uses less shields than you. But even if the opponent does if you use one shield and the opponent doesn't use any shield, you're still gonna lose against Shuckle with Golett, which doesn't make any sense at all in my opinion. Like it should not be that overpowered, but I don't honestly know what is gonna be happening with Shuckle, like because you cannot even nerf Shuckle. Shuckle is just so overpowered on its own. Like you have a Pokemon, Golett has 58 basically defense, 58 defense. Shuckle has 345 defense, just to like comparison why Shuckle is so overpowered. You have literally 7 times nearly the defense of a Golett. 7 times, like you're still the same CP as the opponent. It is ridiculous. Of course you have way less attack, but even the stamina is kind of the same, and it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous that Shuckle is allowed in this meta. I feel like Shuckle should always be not allowed for the Little Cup. I know a lot of people built this Pokemon because it was available like in 3-4 Little Cups or whatever, but it just doesn't make the gameplay fun. There have been Little Cups before where actually there were more answers to Shuckle. There were like Pokemon like even the Bronzor, which is not better than Shuckle. Don't get me wrong, Bronzor is also a horrible Pokemon to deal with, but at least those Pokemon were good answers for it. Now in this meta there's currently not a single real answer to this Pokemon, and it's just really, really annoying because trying to battle here, like, you're kind of forced now into the Master League, and if you don't have the Pokemon for it, then it's a week to skip. Like, it's literally just a week to skip. You cannot really say anything against it. But yeah, I would recommend you to rather go for the Master League if you can decide and you have at least a few Pokemon for it. You get more consistent results with something like the team that I showcased that you're gonna see on the screen now. Then yeah, with anything that you can do here if you don't have Shackle or Meryl. And this is going to be it for this video. Last video most likely for this cup. And yeah, that's going to be it. Bye bye.